Is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and here we are, Cypress Lund again for another excellent, awesome, maybe vlog, doing exploring around in here. Lots of stuff to still cover in here, lots of people to see. You know, people who are historic in the San Francisco Bay Area here for something, or in the world, known in the world for something. This cemetery does not disappoint, and it does not have a lack of interesting people. So let's get on with it. Look at this beautiful one, Louis Drexler, 1836 to 1899. West Virginia-born Drexler was among the best-known capitalists of his day and one of the great landholders in California, owning thousands of acres in Tulare, Colusa, and Yolo counties. Drexler engaged in mining, raised cattle, and became a noted vintner. He was elected to the Nevada State Legislature 1880 before moving to San Francisco 1884. He owned a magnificent vineyard in Fresno and was the president and manager of the Fresno Vineyard Company. Not surprisingly, his epitaph was simply success. Drexler's massive marble sarcophagus, surmounted by a seated figure, is one of the largest and most puzzling in Cypress Lawn. Scholars have argued about the figure's meaning. In fact, it is a representation of the Archangel Michael, of one of 4 military angels who guarded the keys to the kingdom of heaven. In 1906 earthquake, the monument toppled forward. The wings which overspread the monument were broken off. And there was, I think, a sword as well in the statue's hand. We'll go take a closer look at that. A sword in the angel's right hand and a star above his head. That was broken off, the wings and the sword. Wow. Now, I'm going to show you something in the book here that I found a picture of it. I guess originally, the Drexler Monument as it appeared before 1906. And that's what it looked like. It had the wings, oops, and everything. And the sword. And here it is as it stands today. So at the end of that last clip, my battery died, and I just popped a new battery in, so we're ready to go and keep going with this monument here. But this right here is just, it's awesome. Looks like there's the name, Drexler. And it looks like some of the toes had come off. It probably when it toppled forward in the earthquake, 1906 earthquake, that's crazy. Broke off some toes. There's, in the angel's hand, there's keys. There's the face. I kind of want to get up on this and get a better look at those keys, but I don't want to get yelled at for climbing on this thing, but you know what? It doesn't say not to, so we're going to go up and look. There's a better shot of the keys in the angel's hand, and there's that sword that broke off also in the earthquake. There's a shot of the face. We're just going to do a little walk around on this one as well. Kind of get an idea how big this one is. Love the detail on it, just beautiful. This is the round back of it. Here we go. Louis, 1836 to 1899. And then Elise, 1866 to 1951. On the side over here. It's beautiful. I've been in this cemetery many times, but I have not seeing this over here. It's behind some bushes, and under a tree over here. I'll try to get a good shot of this. It's like a massive cross monument, flat on the ground here. I never noticed this. Looks like in the very back there's a stump. I think they cut down another tree, like at some point. But it's hard to make out. It's got so much stuff on it. 1966 is one of the dates. What is this? Anne McKee Armstrong de Saint. That's the name. And Jean or John is above it there. Look at this thing. I'm gonna try to look these people up, see what's going on with this. Actually, I've stuck here, so I don't know. Couldn't find anything. So very interesting though. Awesome little monument though. So Annie de Saint Cyr, C-Y-R, she was a wife of a millionaire, Jean, of the same last name. She lived from 1864, May 2nd. She died March 3rd, 1925, aged 60. And it said, I guess, she died of a heart ailment. And her family and whatnot were by her side. It was a months-long illness, they said. Months. So that would explain who this is and why they have such an awesome grave. Final resting place of John Hooper, 1805 to 1892. He arrived in California from New England in 1851. During the activity of the First Vigilance Committee, he entered the lumber business, operating an establishment at the corner of Stockton and Jackson Streets. Initially, Hooper imported lumber from the East. Wow. The San Francisco's hunger for building materials was such that the business proved profitable from the outset. And it looks like he's got his wife, Martha, 1811 to 1890, and other family members in here as well. Another one, I don't know if you can see inside too well, but we'll give it a shot here. Above the door it says Hooper. Let's see. The window looks like it's see-through, but it looks really dirty. There's an initial above the door. There's that vent on the door that has no glass in it. So we might have to go in, that way to actually check it out. I'm not sure how well it's gonna come out, but that is the inside of it, and it looks, from what I can tell, pretty clean. Beautiful. Paul Young, Y-U-N-G, 1904 to 1978, a contractor who made his most significant contributions in Hong Kong. In 1965, he served as president of the International Federation of Asian and Western Pacific Contractors Association, an organization of contractors from Australia, China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Singapore. And it says he died in Paris and his remains were brought to Colma for burial. Wow. As you can see, can't see inside through the door. There is a window, but it looks very fogged up, like, like you can't see in. But look at that, it's beautiful. On each side of the steps here. You can't see inside. On either side of the door are more statues. It's kind of hidden over here. Interesting. Beautiful door though. Design. Here is the final resting place of Laddie Mitchell. It says 1917. I found the grave on Find a Grave, but nothing on Laddie. Like, who was Laddie? You know, no idea. If any of my genealogy buffs want to take a stab at this one, you're more than welcome to. L-A-D-D-I-E and Mitchell, M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L. This caught my eye because it's a very, very beautiful grave area. It's got these bushes around it, like this little hedge, so it's kind of hard to get super close. I'll try to include a picture in this video maybe, because I Find a Grave had actually a pretty good picture of what this looked like. But that is it. Another one right here, it just caught my eye. I thought it was pretty cool here. I wonder if there's stairs that go down this, or it just goes down to the ground. I'm curious. Beautiful design on the side of it. Name is Ida Pensioner Clark, 76 to 1902. There's a unique dark stone. I don't know, maybe it's weathered, that's why it's so dark now, but it just totally caught my eye. Fortunately, stuff broke off here. But yeah, very interesting. This one over here caught my eye too. It looks like a stone, like a boulder of some kind. Look at this one. Rincline Auto. This huge stone and this massive family area, this is all the, looks like a lot of Newhalls here. This is the final resting place of Henry Mayo Newhall, 1825 to 1882. The marble stone marks the burial site of this Massachusetts-born entrepreneur who arrived in California in 1850 and built a modest fortune running a San Francisco auction house. Newhall was an original director of Laurel Hill Cemetery, where he noted people could be buried with dignity. And he was president of the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad, the first truly successful railroad in the state, completed in 1864. So this gentleman had his hands in a variety of things. And here is the main stone here. Henry Mayo Newhall died March 13th, 1882, aged 56 years, 10 months. And it says, faith believes God's word, hope expects God's blessing, and love devotes us to God's glory, it says. And he's got his wife, and he's got just various members of his family buried here on, and then and around this whole area. This is a big area. There's a lion statues on either side as well. I'll get into that too. And there's his wife Margaret, died November 3rd, 1900, aged 69 years. Her children arise up and call her blessed. This thing is just tall. And around the other side here, it's kind of hard to see this one. The white, there's White, W.M. White died October 13th, 1876, aged 76, I think, and Jane White, August 28th, 1880, I think. It's kind of hard to tell on that side. Sarah Ann, wife of H.M. Newhall, died March 26, 1858, aged 29 years. No one knew her but to love her. Interesting. And this whole area is part of the family right here. Henry's got another stone here as well. Everybody has their, even if they're on the main stone there, like here's Henry again on this little stone. Looks like these were added later on though. And there's just different family members. around. And what is interesting here, on either side, also, I talked about these lion statues right here. Look at this. That is awesome. There's a far away shot. And we'll go over here as well and check this out. What is this? It's a plaque. The Newhall family gratefully acknowledges the generosity of the following donors in their support of the restoration of the Newhall plot at Cypress Lawn. So these are all the people that donated to the restoration of this area. As I told you, these other stones, the flat stones, are very, very new looking. The spring of 2009, I guess they had restored this, or started to restore it, and there's all the names of the donors right there. Interesting. And another lion statue on the other side guarding it. Tell you what, guys, a cemetery, you know, every time I come here, I am always in awe of something. You know, I'm always finding something new that I didn't see before. It's this cemetery is like the gift that keeps on giving. You know, like I said, you always find something different every time you come. And on the weekends here, it's damn near empty. I run into the occasional cars or people visiting, but in this older section, these older sections here, I hardly run into anybody. Maybe driving through from a different section of the cemetery, but definitely. Right now, I have this place almost all to myself. Nude or Nud, K-N-U-D, Henry Lund. 1832 to 1919, born in Norway. Lund immigrated to the United States in 1850 and arrived in San Francisco the following year. He was head of the shipping firm of Henry Lund and Company for more than 50 years. He served as the consul in San Francisco for Sweden and Norway, 1885 to 1905, and after the dual kingdom was separated, acted as the consul general of Norway, 1905 to 1914. He was a founder of the first president of the prestigious Norwegian Club, 1898. Lund was a knight of the Order of Wasa of Sweden and a commander of the Norwegian Order of St. Olav, the second highest decoration that is bestowed by the King of Norway. His private family vault is of rock pitch granite, adorned by 4 black granite icon columns. And this is it. Not sure how well we can see inside this bad boy. Window looks a little dirty. But check this out. There's a window in the back, but I don't think we're gonna get any better than that. I'll walk around. We'll walk around and see, you know. And there's, wow, something came through the window. Not good. And the back there by the window, there is an urn. The inside looks pretty clean still. And Henry's on the left side here. You can't see through this, but Henry's on the left side there, in the middle right there. You can see him off to the side, and there's an urn too. I don't know who that is. There's a better shot of that urn, and Henry is off to the left there in the middle, not the bottom, but the next one up. And there's the better shot of the urn. Let's go around over here to the window. Let's see what we can do with this, if we're able to see any more. But it's clean inside. The floor, from what I can tell, the floor looks pretty clean. Nah, probably not. But here's that urn. Yeah, not much you can see. Interesting. I think they used to have a protective screen over this glass, because we got this, and this bottom one is broke off right here. Albert Gallatin and family. He lived from 1835 to 1905, manager and partner of the powerful Huntington Hopkins and Company, Sacramento, where he built an ornate 3-story Victorian house at 1524 H Street. He sold it to Joseph Steffens in 1888. The structure, acquired by the state of California in 1903, became the governor's mansion and was occupied by 12 governors. Gallatin financed the Folsom Power Company for supplying electric power to the aeration of electricity for long-distance transmission. He served as vice president of the Sacramento Electric, Gas, and Railway Company. His family was of humble Swiss and Swedish origins. So, beautiful, beautiful area. There's more family here as well. Look at this. Because I was walking by and this caught my eye right here. And there's Albert Gallatin. And this in here caught my eye in the middle. God, they don't make these stones. They don't make them like they used to. Nice little area. More crows following me around. I could hear in the distance. This thing is just massive. Thomason is the last name. This one caught my eye because I was walking by through the door there. I could see this very interesting statue inside. Beautiful. I'm trying to see some names here. Jeanette, Edwin. There's a bunch of people in here. As you can see, I'm gonna try to look up some of these individuals and see what I can find out, if anything. The book so far doesn't have them in here. Here is a final resting place of Steve Silver, 1944 to 1995. Now, if his name doesn't sound familiar, some of his works may. It says here, the enormous granite slab with a cartoon caricature of the deceased is the only one of its kind in the cemetery. Drawn by Silver himself, it was modified for the marker by monument maker Elio Fontana of Colma. Oops, books blown around here, of course. Silver was the theatrical genius who created the zany 90-minute musical feast, Beach Blanket Babylon, 1974. The famed review, always a grand spectacle, became as much a part of the San Francisco saga as either the Golden Gate Bridge or the cable car. Silver wrote and choreographed the show while supervising every detail of production. It has continued to play to packed audiences for more than a quarter century. Beach Blanket Babylon became the longest-running musical review in American theater history. The monument was placed in the cemetery before his death of its designer. Silver, dying of AIDS, personally approved the placement, lying down in front of it to be photographed. So, the creator of Beach Blanket Babylon, Steve Silver. I would assume they update this book probably pretty often because, I mean, he didn't die that long ago. He died in 1995. So they must every so often update this book to add new entries. God, I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's still a whole lot to say in this cemetery. I got a late start today, so I was only able to film a couple of videos, but I will be back here, you know, and to do more graves and mausoleums and everything. This place, like I said, is just a gold mine. So thank you all so much for watching, and if you dig this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you can, share the video with people that you may think would dig this kind of stuff. And for the ones inquiring about supporting the channel, I have the YouTube membership, I have a Patreon for those who were inquiring. The links are all down below in the description box, and thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys a little later.